Okay. Radical hates my ass. I don't know if there's anything I can do to make those guys happy. They're always dicks. Oh, trade talks. Okay, let's pass the bill first. The Bergia Standardization and Unity Measure. The Bergia Standardization and Unity Measure, dubbed the BSUM, outlines the course of full integration of Bergia into national governance, advocating for uniformity of governance and reinforced sense of national unity. The Grand National Assembly passes the following steps. Section 1 endorses the abolishment of the governor's position, transitioning to mayoral elections within each city. This change aligns Bergia's local governance with the rest of the nation, fostering a sense of unity and national integration. Section 2 calls for the total revocation of the special zone, abolishment of the position of governor, and dissolving the local security forces. With these measures, Bergia can finally be an equal part of Sordland. Section 8 promotes the enforcement of standard national laws and policies around Bergia, mantling the current semi-independent security structure. You know how funny it would be to this whole time hate Bergia and their governance, and then immediately veto this legislation. No spoilers. Yeah, if you can, I would like to avoid spoilers if possible, because again, we've not really gotten this far before on this route. We're at -7. I mean, look, I'm so like suave. I'm going to avoid a depression anyway. Cause how could you be depressed when you're watching some Anthem content? Very easily, as a matter of fact. Okay. This week, with the approval of President Rayne, Minister Elias Graf's plan to abolish the special zone has become a reality. The decision to abolish the special zone of Bergia and to align it with the standard regional structure is a significant step towards promoting unity and achieve the dream. Your hand is so pale. Yeah, I don't know. It's the lighting in here. The lighting in this room is horrible. Like, it's just, because it's nighttime, too, it's just white light on my extremely white skin. White-ass motherfucker. I'm sitting my white-ass down right now, and I'm currently listening to the Hollow Sword Post. I don't even know what the hell was I even doing. I don't know. Moves brings Bergia under the direct jurisdiction of the Ministry of Interior. Okay. We congratulate the previous governors for their service in fighting terrorism in Bergia, and finally bringing it into a state of today, where it can join Sordland as an equal part. The abolishment of the governor's position signals a fresh start for the region, allowing for a renewed focus on local governance and the democratic voice of the residents. Came in and got flashbanged by my hands. What a crazy thing to say. Okay, special zone of Bergia has been officially abolished. What if I, like, turn this off? See, now I'm, like, darker. Maybe like this? Maybe that's a little bit better. Bergia will be aligned with the standard regional structure, bringing it under the direct jurisdiction of the Ministry of the Interior. This move, supported by President Rayne, aims to promote greater equality and democratic representation within the region. The position of governor, previously held by Felix Braun, has been abolished. Okay, fantastic. Okay, let's talk to Lespia. The Maroon train slowly started to move. This train had been in service for many years. It had 9 locomotives with special quarters and an office. As the name implied, it was painted bright maroon. Among camera flashes and cheers, we departed from a houseward central train station. Our destination was Perla, the capital of Lespia. The historic route we were using was also called the Southern Express. We passed through the Lespian mountain range to the lowlands, with a short stop at the beautiful Sierra Level, where Lesbian security forces joined us. Looking outside the window, the difference in wealth between Vagland and Sierra Nova was extraordinary. I heard a knock at the door to my office on the train, and Simon entered. Mr. President. Simon, have a seat. He sat down on a chair in front of my desk. I wanted to have a quick chat about Prime Minister Alvarez to give you a heads up. There has been some rumors about his demeanor in public appearances. Go on. He is known to have met with other state leaders while intoxicated on various occasions. Some would even call him an alcoholic. Not going to lie, this is the first time this game came out, I tried to have an affair with one of my ministers. Unfortunately, that was not an option. Who was it? Which minister was it? I'm going to guess it was Nia. That's the feeling I'm getting off of this. It is Nia. So you can try to call him an alcoholic. You think of a man who meets heads of state as an official part of his job, showing up drunk, is an alcoholic? I don't believe it. Is this something that could affect the trade deal? Honestly, I don't know. What if we get him fucking hammered and have him sign a horrible deal that benefits us greatly? He handed me a newspaper. The headline was circling over Stallport. This happened just yesterday. Apparently he was so drunk that he couldn't get off the plane on a diplomatic visit. After this incident, some say that he is unfit to serve, but I don't believe that at all. Why is that? Although his presidency is riddled with these kind of incidents, I've heard that he's a shrewd man. Well, now I'm worried. I'm sure it'll be fine, Mr. President. We're almost at Perla. I will continue to my cabin now. Okay, I'll see you when we arrive. A few minutes later, with a long whistle, the train came to a stop. I waved to the crowd from the window. The crowds of reporters that flocked over were pushed away by the Lespian security forces. We made our way to our cars, and the envoy began its short trip to the Yellow House. I need to refill up my drink in a second. When you meet Nia at the restaurant with Justice Edmonds, you get an option to ask her about her personal life. I thought it might lead somewhere. Embarrassing. I'm just... You bring that up in this chat? Just one of the most embarrassing moments of your life? I've never been rejected by a video game character, to my knowledge. Again, maybe Kim in Disco Elysium, but we'll see. Yellow House was situated in the very center of the Perla, in the middle of a circular park that was off-limits to regular citizens. The park was full of roses on small patches. The convoy came to a stop, and I made my way to the entrance. The assistants directed me to the room to wait for Prime Minister Alvarez. Wait. I sat in an exquisite room and looked up the golden chandeliers. After 10 minutes, there was still no sign of Prime Minister Alvarez. It was almost time for our meeting. The chair started to make me feel uncomfortable. I stood up and walked around to look for various items in the room. A beautiful golden teapot piqued my interest. Inspect the teapot. While I was touching it, the handle broke off. I looked around, and thankfully no one was in the room. I'll just leave it beside there. The door opened, and Patricio Alvarez entered. Although I knew that he was one of the youngest state leaders in the world, I was still surprised by how boyish he looked. He's born in he is a 51-year-old man. But okay. Wait, when was I born? 1908. He's older than I am. What do you... President Rayne, what the hell are you talking about? He's 6 years older than you. Okay. He was holding his head like he had a headache and he was stumbling. Upon seeing me, he immediately composed himself and we shook hands. He gestured towards the two couches as we sat down face to face. President Rayne, welcome to Perla. Good to have you here. We heard a lot about your success. I've heard a lot about your success as well, Mr. Alvarez. I try, Mr. Rayne. I smelled a strong odor of alcohol. Don't say anything. Let's begin then. So, you're here for the trade deal. What was that about again? Can you remind me? We want to provide Swordish tungsten in return for Lespian capital. Ah, yes, right. Sorry, I've been just very busy lately. You know, being a president makes you pretty busy. So, I don't have any issues with this deal. I think it'll contribute nicely to a relationship between Lespia and Sordland. I'll sign an executive order. I do, however, believe that we can do much more than just trade. But by we, I mean the ATO. I would like to see Sordland in our sphere. What do you think? Not one of our aims. I'm being a neutral ground. I want to be the strongest neutral nation on Earth. Play hardball. Thank you for your offer, but it's not one of our aims for now. For now, maybe. But when you, where will you stand when United Catan attacks Eastern Macopa, as it surely will? That's a real question. He clenched his fist and slammed it on the coffee table. Those goddamn communists! We need to stop them before it's too late. Fags lying those barbarians. They're preparing to invade Hajiland on false accusations. If Agnolia is first, Sordland will be next. I'll be frank. East Macopa's only way for survival is through the ATO. We need the support for one of the largest players in Eastern Macopa, Sordland. The beautiful country of Sordland is the key to all of this. We need you, Mr. Rayne. We need Sordland. Are you with us? Will you defend our continent against the blight of communism? I'm really more worried about the blight of Rumberg, to be quite honest with you. Ally Lespia, but not with the ATO. I mean, he's a drunk. Can't decide without knowing what's in it for me. I think you're exaggerating the threat. I have my doubts. I'm giving you this option for your country's own good, Mr. President. I offer you an alliance. It'll come a special aid package from me. Together we will shield the continent against Maliev's evil. Not to mention that you will have Arcasi's full backing. The most powerful ally you can have in this era. Plus, I mean, he's paying me $2. He is paying me $2. You can't say no. You can't say no. $2 is $2, you know? $2 is $2. And I know, again, when we played the first time, we aligned ourselves. We were neutral, but we were aligned with United Katanda. So if we can be, like, neutral and align ourselves with the ATO this time around, you know, I think that makes things a little bit more interesting for us. Or did I actually join the CSO last time? I actually don't quite remember how that ended. Perfect. Brilliant. You don't know how valuable you are, Mr. Rayne. You just saved your country from its demise. I will personally talk to Mr. Walker to let him know this achievement. We shook hands and we went in for a hug. I could smell the alcohol in his breath. He looked at the clock. I'm afraid I had to leave now to attend other matters. Thank you for your visit. Before I forget, you owe me a teapot. Ah, shit! Making a military alliance with Lespia. Okay, so we've aligned ourselves with Lespia. Country relationship updated with Vagsland. I'm sure they fucking hate... Yeah, unfriendly. That's not surprising. They've also tariffs me. Tungsten trade tariffs by Vagsland, free trade zone, alliance with Lespia, trade with Lespia. But we're not allied with the ATO, right? Like, we're still neutral in that way. OMEC member, alliance, trade. I mean, they're green. We love green. We're green boys here. United Katana, under the auspices of the CSP, has communicated strong reservations concerning the formalized alliance between Sordland and Lespia. This cooperative agreement, ostensibly by bolstering mutual defense and advancing economic interest, extends the AT's influence in Eastern Makopa. Chairman Leon Maliev, Shavatong Akwania, representing the CFP's stance, warns of the potential for this strategic alliance to disrupt the delicate equilibrium of power in the region. This reservation is further ascertained against the backdrop of the recently concluded Arcasian-Lespia agreement, permitting Arcasian military establishment in Lespia. This military expansion has sparked concerns about escalating tension in the region. Okay. Again, I'm not allied with the ATO. I'm not joining the ATO, okay? Can I be like have like observer status with both sides? That way I always come out on top. How's the economy doing, by the way? This is still not changed. Not even a little bit. How are you guys doing, by the way? Historical tourism, USP mayor. Cool, cool. It was a dark, chilly evening when Peter called and asked if we could meet. He gave no details. All he said was that it was important. I drove alone through Hollowsword suburbs until I reached a meeting point he named. 147 Warwick Avenue, number 26. Our old campaign headquarters. Untouched since the night of the election. This is where everything began. I made my way up to the dusty staircase in the office building. The light in the second floor hallway was out. I used a cigarette lighter to find my way to the wooden door marked number 26. I pulled on the handle, but it wouldn't budge. The heavy door had always been a pain to open. Coming! Peter pushed the door with all of his weight. It made a screeching sound as it opened. Without further ado, I bid you welcome to this grand nostalgia trip, hosted by yours truly, Peter Vectrin. He made an exaggerated bow. The dust from the open door was still settling down. Perfect. Feeling sentimental yet? I mean, I haven't been to this place in ages. I miss it sometimes. Even that damn door. Come over here. You remember this? He walked over to his old desk and pointed to the gramophone that had annoyed our neighbors and kept us company for so many late nights. Peter flipped the switch and it filled the room with swing music from the 20s. I'll be damned, it still works. So, what are we celebrating? Life, my friend, life. He pulled his head from under the desk and brought a bottle out. He took a swig out of it and passed the bottle to me. Aren't there any glasses? Palace life is pampering you too much. Just drink from the bottle like the old days. Remember where we came from. Peter snapped his finger to the music while going through the items in the room. It looked virtually unchanged since election night. Come here. Have a look around. See if it doesn't bring back memories. Let's go. What's in the storage boxes? I found one of the storage boxes. I found heavy objects wrapped safely, and I unwrapped it. It was an emerald-colored statue of a goat, the symbol of Sordland. I remember that this was a gift from Bergia, one of the 53 election campaign assistants. It'll look good on my desk in the palace. Brenda, always sucking up to you. And where did it get her? Seriously, where? I have no idea where she ended up. Of course I'm going to take the statue. I lifted the storage box with the statue in it and put it near the door so I can take it on the way out. Hey, I got a lovely collectible. Walked over to my old desk, sat down in the squeaky chair, and opened up top drawer. Like, why is the building abandoned? Inside are a few old coins, pencils, and sheets of paper. Underneath them, something caught my eye. There's a photograph of me and Monica sitting under a tree. Must have been 10, 15 years ago. He looks so young and happy. Monica would love to see this. Nice find. Look at baby Anton. He didn't even have your iconic look. I took the photo and slid it in my jacket pocket. Okay, what's going on in the gramophone? I found one of my favorite albums ever. Mountains by Janet Gers. A set of platonic folk songs that made me yearn for the countryside whenever I heard it. What a classic. You should mail that to Frank so we can learn what real music is. Why would I not just take everything? Yes, all in good time. He just took the bottle. Okay, I'll take a sip. I'm gonna take a sip, okay? He took a very big gulp out of the bottle and staggered out to the side afterwards. I know you, Peter. What are you hiding? Nothing! Let's go up to the roof. The view is always amazing from up there. He went up to the stairs of the roof. The view was mesmerizing. The building of hollow swords twinkled below us, while the stars shone bright in the sky. We sat and leaned back against the wall, taking it all in. Right as I was starting to get up, I heard a sobbing sound. I turned to Peter and I saw tears streaming down his cheeks. What's wrong? He wiped tears away. I messed up, Anton. I messed up big time. Evelyn's leaving me. She wants a divorce. What the hell did you do? I've been sleeping with Livia Sono. You've been what? I know, she's your secretary. I'm so sorry. It's just Evelyn hasn't been the same since she lost her job. And Livia's been giving me sultry looks from the day I hired her. You were away, I was drunk. One thing led to another. But she's more than just a pretty girl, Anton. She's smart, she's kind. We really connected. Don't tell me you're gonna run off with her. No, we're ending things. I told her it's too unprofessional. I want Evelyn back. Who else knows besides me and the three of you? Nobody, I swear. There's an edge of desperation in Peter's voice. He took another drink. How many years have we known each other? How many scrapes have we just gotten ourselves out of? I can handle this myself. Just trust me and I won't bring anybody else into this. I turned to face my friend and vice president. The habits have gotten him dubbed the bad boy of Swordfish politics. When we were young, we were no longer so charming, coming from middle-aged men. Yet he was still he's still a capable politician. I couldn't ignore our long history together. Can weather this. It's just an affair. I will be blunt. You will fix this or I will remove you from office. Yes, Anton, I understand. Thank you so much. Don't mention it. And I mean, don't mention it. Without waiting for my reaction, I left the rooftop alone and made my way downstairs. On my way out, I grabbed my belongings and took one last look back in my office. It had been home for some of the happiest memories for sure. But this visit had permanently cured me of any nostalgia. As soon as I arrived home, I headed up to my study, sat down, and stared at the telephone. Call no one. I'll trust him. I'll trust him for now. I slipped into bed, careful not to disturb my sleeping wife. I would tell her the news about Peter and Evelyn tomorrow, and I hope it wouldn't upset her too much. Couldn't sleep at all that night. Okay, well, how many things do we have in our collection? Oh my god, there's so much. Okay, these are all the DLC stuff. Looks like I'm guessing these were like early on we kind of missed. That's fine. Revolver. Don't worry about all of this for now. Okay, get me out of here. Overview, economy, increased trade volume, stable. Look at the boom. It's on chronological order. Look at that boom, man. Look at that. We're mooning. We're mooning. We've almost gotten back to, like, I mean, we're far from the good old days. To put it mildly, we're not at the good old days right now. I'm just pouring myself some more drink in my glass. Some more beverage. Might have heard of them. Okay, we gone for... we can do a little bit more. We can go for like a nice solid 2-hour stream. We'll go a little bit longer. Maybe like one more big event. We'll see how long that takes. Okay. In a cunning display of political maneuvering, the Swordist government has dissolved the special zone of Bergia, effectively shifting power from the oppressive Governor Krull to the equally domineering Interior Ministry. On the surface, this appears to be a step towards progress, but a closer examination reveals the mere facade, hiding the true nature of this power transition. This is merely a transfer of power from one oppressive force to another. The voice of the British community, who have long fought about for the restructuring of the special zone into an autonomous region, have once again been silenced. Let us not be deceived by surface-level changes, but instead amplify the voices of the marginalized and continue advocating for justice. Now that both Governor Braun and Governor Krull are gone, our resolve is stronger, but our targets remain unchanged. Radical's commitment to challenging oppressive structures continue. Chancellor Hegel has condemned the military alliance between Sordland and Lespia, calling it a great threat to the people of Eastern Rakopa. He has announced that the Vaslani government is readying new sanctions against Sordland. Very cool. And the Swordist government has officially signed a new economic deal and military pact with Lespia, which brings the two economies closer together through an economic partnership agreement, as well as their militaries with a new military alliance. The Swordist-Lespia alliance has been made official by President Rayne and Prime Minister Alvarez in Pirla yesterday. The deal is tailored to benefit both economies, with big benefits to Swordish and Lespian businesses. It includes a strong commitment from Lespia to support Sordland with Lespia's capital. It also brings the militaries of both countries closer together through joint military training and intelligence sharing. According to the pact, both countries will join each other in any defensive wars. This sign marks a new period of close relationship between Sordland and Lespia, which will see two like-minded democracies work together as allies. Okay. The CSP has issued a strong condemnation following a recent submarine attack on a cargo ship off the coast of Markansia, near northeast Rumburg. The incident, involving a Rumburg submarine erroneously targeting a cargo vessel belonging to United Katana, has raised serious concerns about maritime safety and the need for improved communication channels. In light of the incident, the CSP is calling for immediate measures to prevent such occurrences in the future. A key proposition is the establishment of an emergency security hotline between Grace and the CSP. This would serve as a platform for real-time information exchange, ensuring quick and appropriate response to any maritime distress signals. Very cool. Rizia. They don't like the alliance. In a recent statement, King Ramis has condemned Sordland's alliance with Lespia, raising concerns over the potential implications for regional stability due to Lespia's action and membership of the ATO. He called upon Sordland to reconsider this strategic decision, highlighting the value of maintaining balanced power dynamics within the region. Oh, like, me and Lespia border each other, so we've got like a nice little alliance here, I would say. And what are you guys up to? Pakistan has announced a slew of trade sanctions against us, with increase up to 30% of import tax on certain goods, along with the cancellation of military arms sales, medical assistance, and other economic cooperation between our countries. Only a measly 30% tariff? You're not even fucking trying. You're not even trying. Embarrassing. Okay. You should hit me with a 50% tariff for absolutely no reason. Then I will take you seriously. But until that time, I'm just going to ignore you. I completely forgot there were channel points were even a thing, to be quite honest with you. Okay. Thank you for the hydration, redemption. I don't even know what we can redeem in channel points. I honestly do not remember what's in there. The NBC has issued a critical warning about the massive government budget deficit that has occurred in the third year of the administration. I've halved the deficit. Grow up. The special zone of Bergia is officially abolished, and a new structure is currently being implemented with speed. Under the new framework, Bergia will be aligned with a standard regional structure observed throughout Sordland, bringing it under the direct jurisdiction of the Ministry of the Interior. As part of this restructuring, the position of governor, currently held by Herbert Krull, has been abolished, resulting in his dismissal from duty. He looks evil, so I'm glad he's out of here. Okay. And the start of the day at the palace. That's an ominous title. It's just the start of the day. It was early in the morning after my talk with Peter. The sun was just beginning to peek over the horizon. I couldn't sleep, so I decided I might as well head to the palace early and get some uninterrupted work done. Room Palace was empty, save for a few cleaning staff. I entered my office and was shocked to see Lucien already there waiting for me. Mr. President, good. I was hoping you'd be early. I know you're punctual, Lucien, but this is ridiculous. I have a sensitive matter to discuss. I have very good reason to believe your vice president and your secretary are engaging in illicit relations. Yes, I know, we're handling it. Lucien gave me a wounded look. You knew, and you didn't come with me with this information? You only told me yesterday. I was going to come to you first thing today. Well, don't hesitate to call me straight away next time. On its own, giving Mr. Vectron's established reputation as something of a playboy, the affair is unlikely to cause much damage. However, a more troubling possibility has been brought to light. The recent conversation with Mr. Hailstone, our whistleblower from Nuremberg, revealed the presence of a spy within the Room Palace. I believe Mrs. Suno is our mole, and she's been using her relationship with Mr. Vectron to gather information. Tell me more. I can do better than that, I'll show you. Lucien reached into his coat pocket, pulled out an audio tape, and fed it into the reel-to-reel machine on my desk. This was recorded in the palace at 1909 on the second day of your trade visit to Lespia. He pressed play, and I heard Peter and Livia's voices. You're sure everyone's gone for the day? Relax, Liv. Nobody's working that hard with Anton off in Lespia. Livia giggled. I heard the sound of kissing, then of drinks being poured. I'm glad he stayed behind. Did he tell you how it's going over there? Do you think there's any chance they'll form an alliance? As a matter of fact, yes. He, Prime Minister Alaves, just sealed the deal. I think Anton is making steps to isolate Nuremberg step by step. In the meantime, I can think of another deal that needs sealing. Lucien's grimaced and switched the tape off. And then what happened? You don't need to hear all of the rest of it, but the important question is, why is so much curiosity about these particular alliances? If not because they could be that they could strengthen us against Nuremberg. And that's not all. I found her resume on file, and there's a year-long gap between her finishing secretarial school and beginning her career. Normally this would have been looked into, but Miss Suno was hired before a background check could be completed by one Peter Vectron. Just then, there was a knock on the door. Livia opened it cautiously. Good, Mr. President, Mr. Glade. I didn't realize you'd be in so early. Can I get you some coffee? I'll wait for Lucien to say something. Please have a seat, Miss Suno. Livia sat. She looked puzzled. Is something the matter? I'm not pretending your secret is out. I'm not sure what you're talking about. You know perfectly well. Livia buried her face in her hands. I'm sorry, Mr. President, I was foolish, and Peter was so nice to me, but it's over now. Nobody ever needs to know. That's not what the President means, Miss Suno. We're referring to you being an intelligent agent for Nuremberg. Livia sat upright. She looked shocked. Pardon me, Mr. Glade, but are you feeling all right? He's fine. You have anything to say for yourself? I can replace his secretary, okay? Mr. President, I understand that if you don't want me to keep my job, but to smear me with outlandish accusations? Miss Suno, indulge me for a moment. What were you doing in the year 1951? Livia's face flushed. As you must know, I was working as a cigarette girl at Porto's. It's a La Haven saloon. I was saving up so I could afford my own place in Halsord. There's a proprietor number if you need to double check. She scribbled a telephone number on a piece of paper. Lucien snatched it up. Why would you just know that number off the top? I mean, I guess maybe it's your old job. You might remember the number, but... She has been asking a lot of questions. Why were you asking Peter about my alliances? To tell you the truth, Mr. Rayne, I was hoping to run an office myself someday. I want to make a real difference in this world, like Mrs. Morgana and Miss Walda. But I guess I messed up that by getting involved with Peter. Now the world is going to say I slept the way to the top. Wait, how do you know about that conversation? There's a loud pounding on the door. Peter barged in without waiting for an answer. He was unshaven and wore the same clothes from the night before. She does keep entering the room. You're so right. Get her ass out of here. I came as soon as I heard the three of you were in here. Anton, what the hell are you doing? I told you that we had this under control. Sit down and shut up. Peter took a seat from the far end of the sofa. He looked over at Livia and noticed her troubled expression. God, why involve her? This is my mess. She did nothing wrong. Well, there's a small chance that she could be a spy. What? I have reason to believe that she's been relaying information to Rumburg. Information that you have leaked to her in your carelessness. Lucien rewound his tape and played it again. As Peter listened, his eyes widened in disbelief. Lucien, you rat bastard. You've been bugging my office? I'm sure his next... I guess I also was a bit suspicious that he's been bugging our offices, but... Both Peter and Livia were glaring at Lucien now. He looked unrepentant. I noticed the Vice President's behavior becoming increasingly erratic and unprofessional over the past few months. And I wanted to get to the root of the cause. So you wiretapped your own goddamn colleague? And for what? So you can get off on this, you pervert? Certainly not. I believe that along with the Rumburg whistleblower admission that there is a spy in the palace, and certain gaps in Ms. Runo's resume, this tape makes a compelling case to investigate the Secretary for Espionage. Whether or not the investigation yields positive results, Mr. Vectrin ought to be held accountable for his willingness to divulge such sensitive information. Gotta stand trial for, or at the very least resign. Peter's jaw dropped. Livia stood up. If I may, Mr. President, I've been paying attention to what goes on in the palace, not because I'm some sort of agent, but out of genuine interest. As hard as that may be for you to believe, Mr. Gallade. She scowled at Lucien, then turned back to me. And from what I've seen, this man has been attempting to undermine your vice president at every turn. Perhaps with the goal of replacing Peter himself. There's intrigue in the palace for sure. That's ridiculous. I would never make Lucien vice president. Oh, never in a million years would I make him vice president. Like, look at him. He's fucking stiff as a fucking board. He's lame. I won't say that. At least I won't make him vice president, but I won't say that to him. He's been nothing but loyal. Loyal to you, it's true. He never could stand me. Lucien frowned. My personal misgivings about Mr. Vectrin's side, I would never do anything to harm his administration. Mr. Vectrin, on the other hand, has been committing adultery, and at worst, delivered state secrets straight into enemy hands. Who could I believe? Lucien, can I speak to you alone for a moment? Peter and Olivia exchanged worried glances before exiting my office. What are you going to do, Mr. President? We should at least investigate. I think the investigation is warranted. I appreciate your trust in me. Hey, Mr. Vectrin, what will you do about his willingness to compromise Sordland security at the drop of a pencil skirt? Settle with him personally. Decide once we have results. I mean, that's not a bad option. Very well. Just keep in mind that you may need him to shoulder the blame for this. Lucien adjusted his tie. I'll apologize to Miss Suno and tell her that there's all been a misunderstanding. We can't have her running away during the investigation. No, I'll do it myself. She's too suspicious of you. Very well, sir. Lucien gave a slight bow as he left the office. I sat myself for a while, wondering what exactly I had set into motion. And I think... Now, this is a juicy way to start off the stream next time. But I think at least for right now, it's going to be a good time for us to end off for today. So I hope you've all enjoyed.